No fucking way.
So once you kill the boss, you want to have each fire team member leave. So you'll start with yourself, you'll leave, you will put salvations on, and at that point you will not move once you spawn in. After you leave, your teammate does the same thing. Once he comes back, we will move on from there.
What the fuck is this? What am I watching? I mean, I know it's double drops.
Once you and your teammate are back in and you haven't moved, you want to make your way to progress the mission. You do not want to touch the ground for more than like a half second, so you want to hop. You don't stay on the ground. We're doing that to prevent setting spawns because you're going to have to block all your spawns again.
How did people figure this out? Okay, they choose peace.
You and I, we're not interested in playing other people's games. Now Ziva Warad. Oh, my sister has always played by the rules. And where did that get her? Nowhere good. There's no power in blindly following the whims of capricious, self-titled gods.
So now you both want to start picking up the class item at the same time. You can do a 3, 2, 1 go and start picking up on go. And then at that point, you just both want to kill yourself. And then you're going to spawn in. And once you spawn in, you're going to block where you just spawned. You're going to shoot Salvation Script right at where you just spawned and immediately kill yourself again and respawn as quick as possible. By doing that, you will block your spawn, and then after 3 spawns, you'll go all the way back to the beginning of the quest.
What?
Now from here, once both of you are here, you want one person to go back to the
This is the beginning of the quest.
load before the mission. Once they're there, the second they get there, they can just turn straight back around, come back to the intrusion. And then once they're there, your teammate, they will turn around, they'll go hit the other load, they'll come back. Now once you're both there, you can go, just run through the mission. And then once you're at the part where you go up the stairs, there's a little hole that you have to use to get past the door. We'll skip to there and I'll show that. Once you're in this room, you want to start gaining height. You can do that in a variety of ways. You see I use Navigator, but if you're not on Strand, you can use Mountaintop. Shoot yourself up in Mountaintop, and then once you're up there, you're going to shoot yourself. You can use Sword. You're going to go a little bit further, as you'll see in the video, and then I go straight up. Once I'm up there, I drop straight down, and that puts me behind that door that wouldn't open. And then from there, just keep doing the mission like normal. Yeah, and you'll see.
Oh yeah. It's easy. I need one person from LFG right now. Let's do this real quick, guys. I need double loots. I mean, you're pretty much progressing to the whole mission again. I mean, I get it. He's saving himself time.
Once you guys both get to here, same thing as before. Both pick up the class item at the same time. You both get it. Overall, you'll see that this probably takes like 6 minutes with leaving and rejoining and all that, which is still better than doing the entire mission again. So it is still worth it. It's nowhere near the original skip, but you know, take what we can get.
This is the dual destiny mission, right? It's the mission that gives you your exotic class items. A few weeks ago, there was a glitch, a very easy glitch to take advantage of that allowed you to get double drops. And it made this 25 to 30 minute activity completely worth the time, because even though, yes, you had to find someone who knew the mechanics, which, you know, wasn't super difficult, but you still had to find someone who understood the mechanics of this mission. You could only go in with one other person. All those hoops you had to jump through. At the end of the day, you were still able to walk away with 2 exotic class items from 25 to 30 minute commitments there, which was really, really good. Bungie has since nerfed it, which is why we're watching this gentleman right here. Who is this? Rhythm. We're watching Rhythm right here jump through all these hoops. Now, I gotta just say, man, I don't know how you guys figured this. How do y'all even come up with this? I understand trial and error, but see, he's on a Titan. He's gonna log out.
Each fire team member leaves, so you'll start with yourself. You'll leave. You will put salvations on, and at that point, you will not move once you spawn in. After you leave, your teammate does the same thing. Once he comes back, we will move on from there.
So it shows them leaving. He's joining back up. So him and his teammates are here. They're going to complete so this is after they've killed the boss, right? They're going to complete the mission as normal. This is the crazy part right here. So his teammate is swapping now.
Your way to progress the mission, you do not want to touch the ground for more than like a half second. So you want to hop. You don't stay on the ground. We're doing that to prevent setting spawns because you're going to have to block all your spawns again.
So you're blocking your spawn to then spawn yourself in the beginning of the mission. And so he's not letting his feet touch the ground for long, which is why he's rocking lion. It's in here hopping. He spawns in. He does peace. It's just like normal. Okay, so this is the crazy part. So you come over here and you loot it just like normal.
Blindly following the whims of
They're still hopping.
Self-titled god.
So now you both want to start picking up the
His friend's not hopping, so I don't know if hopping is necessary at this point.
class item at the same time. You can do a 3, 2, 1 go and start picking up on go. And then at that point, you just both want to kill yourself. And then you're going to spawn in. And once you spawn in, you're going to block where you just spawned. You're going to shoot Salvation Script right at where you just spawned and immediately kill yourself again and respawn as quick as possible.
You're blocking the spawn points.
By doing that, you will block your spawn.
Yeah.
And then after 3 spawns, you'll go all the way back to the beginning of the quest.
I'm assuming you have to be really, really fast about this or the stasis crystals disappear, right? All right, so here it is. Now they're back here at the beginning point.
Now from here, once both of you are here, you want one person to go back to the load before the mission. Once they're there, the second they get there, they can just turn straight back around, come back to the intrusion. And then once they're there, your teammate, they will turn around, they'll go hit the other load, they'll come back. Now once you're both there, you can go, just run through the mission. And then once you're at the part where you go up the stairs, there's a little hole that you have to use to get past it.
Yeah, and that's the point of his chest. All right, so what he's pretty much saying here, guys, you can do all of this if you're looking to get double drops. You can do all this, he's saying, within about 6 minutes. You know, and if you're doing this, it takes you 30 minutes per run. I mean, this is a lot of stuff that's happening here. He's swapping to different navigators and grappling. Is this something you should be doing? You could, and you will save yourself time. Say worst case scenario, it takes you 10 minutes to get back to the boss room. Well, I mean, how many seconds did it give us in total? So about 10 minutes, right? I think 600 seconds. Say it takes almost the full 10 minutes. I mean, we're still talking saving yourself 20 minutes for 2 drops. So you're getting 2 drops every 40 minutes if you're doing 30-minute runs. Can I just say this though? Bungie, you're watching this right now. If you happen to see this, you're seeing the limits that gamers are going through. Rhythm, amongst others, to get double drops of these exotic class items. Get it? You don't want to make double drops a thing again. Could we just make it a feature? Could we just have like, I don't know, double exotic class item week, 24 hours? You know, just a small time frame there where we get double drops. Across, this is just annoying enough though for them not to fix it. I'll give you that, guys. I will give you this. This method will probably take a very long time for Bungie to patch because there's just so many things. So Rhythm here and Poppy Chase has come up with a method here that will allow you to, I would say, safely double loot without it probably getting nerfed for a very long time. With that being said, I wish Bungie would just give us double drops again. No, this was going to be a hard one to fix, guys. You're swapping characters. You're using Salvation's grip to block spawn points. I'm not saying that Bungie can't fix it, but dude, if they fix this like soon, what the heck? I mean, how many people are actually going to be doing this? They could just reduce the timer. Oh, they could. You are right. That would be an easy fix. So essentially, when you spawn back in, instead of you having the 600 seconds to get back to the end, if they only gave you a minute, it would be impossible to do. Yeah, I mean, it would. I mean, they've got the 600 seconds here at the beginning. They could literally just dial back the time and put it at a minute and a half. And most people, if not all, are going to be hard pressed to get back to the end of the mission. All right. Look, if you want to go through this by all means you can. Feel free to check out Rhythm. I will say though, Bungie, just please, just make it a feature, dude. Just like we have like double drops for Grandmaster Nightfalls and double rep weeks. Like just make it to where once in a blue moon, we get a double drop week, even if it's just for a weekend for these exotic class items. But you could do the Pale Heart farm. It gives you a drop about every 20. Guys, I don't know about y'all, man. My RNG with the Pale Heart is pretty damn bad. There have been times I've gone 45 minutes to an hour and no drop. Just run that macro overnight. There's a macro. You guys got a macro? What does it do? Just run around? Is it just run around looting chests? Get the fuck out of here. Really?
You can load into the landing on the Pale Heart and run a macro that'll pick up this chest in the area and reload the landing. Each time you open this chest, it gives you a small chance at getting an exotic class item if you've already gotten one from Dual Destiny. This process is pretty slow, but there are versions of the macro that can be done while being tabbed out of Destiny and doing something else on your computer. I mean, no, these can definitely only be done while at your keyboard staring at the macro and doing nothing else. In all honesty, you're probably wondering if Bungie will ban you from running a macro in Destiny. It's a fair question because having your character run around and automatically pick up loot makes it so you have a chance at getting better loot than someone else who doesn't do that. In my opinion, this is like driving 60 in a 55. It's no big deal. Bungie says any advanced macros are against TOS of Destiny. It's tough to say what qualifies as advanced in their eyes. For my
I will say for me in the past, RuneScape and Jagex is actually, I got a temporary ban for having a macro set up for high alching. Because like high alching was literally you pressing the same button in the same spot over and over. And so I would just set up a macro to just click all night. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have high out, you know, a couple of thousand items. Anyways, you would get banned for that. So I don't know. But inside of Destiny, macros, I mean, it's kind of a gray area. I don't even know if I've never heard of anyone getting banned for it either.
understanding, no one in the history of the game has ever been banned due to a macro. There are checkpoint bots that only sit in the helm and automatically launch activities like King's Fall, Golgoroth Maze. Big shout out to Golgoroth Maze CP #9613. And they've been doing this for years. Then there are players who are in the maze, macroing to kill 5 thrall that spawn repeatedly in order to level up their bonus power level so they don't get burnt out on the game to achieve high enough levels to not be at a disadvantage in in-game content like Grandmasters, plus 20 on the artifact. Holy God. Then there are collection macros that pop up from time to time where people pull stuff from collections, delete it, to get materials like cores and shards or glimmer. Bungie responds to each of these problems by either 1, ignoring it. Why would Bungie ban people logged into the game running macros since it keeps the player count higher? Or 2, patching it if they think it's causing harm to the in-game economy or the game in general.
It's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game. I'm just saying. See, the one thing that Destiny, I know a lot of people went trading, but when you introduce trading, that's when real world trading gets into the mix. And when real world trading gets in the mix, that's when bots flood your game. There'll be bots everywhere. And inside of RuneScape, we have bots everywhere, dude. I'd be over there chopping wood, and I'd have hundreds of players around me. They'd all look like the level 3 guy, you know, the bald head with the lime green shirt and the green pants. Nobody's saying shit. I be trying to have conversations. Nobody's talking. You know why? Because they're all bots. That's why. But here's the thing. It's not that big of a deal inside of Destiny because inside of Destiny, there's no rural trading. There's no trading. We don't have that problem. I don't think Bungie would ban over something like this. They're saying Fallout has a video on this.
Why don't we go over a popular Pale Heart farm going around right now? I heard about this from Leopard, who I believe heard about it from 7 oil rigs. From the Pale Heart, scroll way over to the left and drop in at the landing. This is going to sound weird, but bear with me. You're going to walk all the way over to this general area where I am right now, and you're just going to wait for about a half a minute or so. Eventually, you're going to see your screen flash a little bit, and when you see that, head on over to the right. Just follow the path I'm taking right now. I'll speed it up a bit. But yeah, you come over here, and there should be a loot chest waiting for you. Go ahead and open it up. Pray you get an exotic, open your map, and refly into the landing. Rinse and repeat. A few things to mention. I don't know if standing in this exact spot is necessary. I did try standing closer to the staircase near where you land. My screen did end up flashing, but the chest didn't appear. Now that could be because the chest does not appear 100% of the time, even when you go stand in the exact spot for however long that I showed you to. But anyway, if you go to the landing and stand in that spot where I showed you and just wait for a little bit, that chest should appear most of the time. Again, not 100%, but very much most of the time. So now why don't we talk about the elephant in the room, AFK farming, which yes, would involve a macro. Translation, set up some very generic prompts and have it run on on repeat while you go outside to volunteer helping the elderly or teach some sick children how to read, I'm sure. Is this a bannable offense? Great question. I don't want to give an answer like I'm completely sure. I do know that in 2020...
Dude, incoming, we all get banned next week for this shit.
2023, Bungie shared a statement regarding macro usage in general. My main takeaway after rereading that statement is that as long as you aren't using a device or something modded that would allow you to do something that you literally could not do before, then it seems that would be kosher in the eyes of Bungie. As an example that I'm completely making up, if I had a modded controller that literally removed all recoil from any gun when I shot it, yeah, that would obviously be something that literally no human could replicate naturally, and therefore it would not be tolerated. On the other hand, though, just walking around in the Pale Heart is something literally any player can already do. Again, that is just my interpretation of reading Bungie's commentary on macro usage and automation. By all means, do not do what I'm about to show you if AFK farming makes you uneasy in any way. Leopard and Oil Rigs' tutorial on this involves changing some of your settings, I'm pretty sure. I don't really like the thought of doing that, so I'm going to show you an even lazier way of doing it. Tiny Task is a very straightforward macro tool I've used for other games. I'll link it in the video description if you want to check it out. Hashtag not an ad. Hit the recording hotkey, literally do whatever you want to be replicated, then hit the recording hotkey again to end the input recording. Make sure continuous playback is enabled in the preferences section, then hit your playback hotkey, and there you go. Brainless farm on repeat. I want to remind you that while the farm is easy, the drop rates are bad. That being said, if you do it for long stretches of time, either actively or inactively, you can and will get drops. I found I was getting maybe one of these per hour or so with this method. Again, not great, but I don't think this form of automation goes against Bungie's terms of service, so if you're going out for a long walk or going to bed, might be worth a try, but again, please do not quote me on that. I'll repeat it one more time. I don't speak for Bungie at all, and if the idea of AFK farming makes you uncomfortable, then
1 an hour, holy shite. Guys, you go to bed, you wake up, you slept for 6-7 hours, boom, you wake up, you got 6-7 exotic class items waiting for you in your inventory. That's pretty good. I'd take it. The only issue I have with it is I know how finicky macros can be. Your character right here starts off at this point and you record this script. I just wonder, because like I would leave on macros inside of RuneScape and I would wake up in the morning and sometimes my character would be in Narnia. Something to keep in mind. Obviously, not everyone here has to do macros. Will we do it? I don't know. I do love the idea, though, of waking up to free loot. And we may very well partake in this because there's just so many different combinations of exotic class items that you really need to loot a ton of them. With that being said, Bungie, for the love of God, can you just give us double drops for like a week every now and then for Dual Destiny? And we'll just call it. We'll farm it out when that moment hits.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.